Video we shall learn about Ghiyasuddin Balban. So who was Ghiyasuddin Balban? He was the father-in-law of Nasiruddin Sultan. Okay, Nasiruddin Sultan was the ruler after the death of Rajia Sultana. So after the death of Rajia Sultana, Nasiruddin became the Sultan of that time. Then after that, he could not control the country. Therefore, he handed over the power to Ghiyasuddin Balban. Now we shall learn here who was Ghiyasuddin Balban. He ruled over this period, that is AD 1266 to AD 1287. So here I have written some of the important points. You will know very shortly. I shall explain you. So Ghiyasuddin Balban ruled from AD 1266 to 1287, right? He faces many problems during his rule. He faces many problems or challenges during his rule because he was among those Chalisas. So he was a slave of Iltutmish. Yes or not? Iltutmish was the main ruler of that time. So he was the first legal sultan. So he was among those 40 Chalisas that was created by Iltutmish. So as he was among the group of 40 people, that was Chalisa, the group of 40 slaves become very powerful at that time. So other people who were working with him, Ghiyasuddin Balban, they become very powerful during the period of Ghiyasuddin Balban's rule. So he faces problem from his peer groups. You can tell them that as peer groups because he was working. The people were working with him. Yes or no? So they were a same type of people. They come into power in same position. So it was very difficult to become king of those 40 people. Okay, so he faces problem from 40 groups of people. Then he also faces from Mongols of Northwest. Yes or no? Mongols of Northwest came from as you knew here, Mongols of Northwest. Here, Samsuddin Iltutmish, Mongols of fierce group of tribe from Central Asia by Genghis Khan. Yes or no? So he was also facing from the Mongols of Northwest. So he started the policy of blood and iron. So he thought of now becoming cruel to this all people. So to gain control, power over these people, what he did? He started the policy of blood and iron, means beating them cruelly and harming them. So he started beating those. You can see here, if you will read this paragraph, then you will know that he beat all the peoples and he gained control over those people at that time during his rule. Who? Ghiyasuddin Balban. So expansion of the Sultanate. So how he expanded his rule? Balban was also responsible for expansion of the Sultanate. Before he came to throne, the control of the sultans was mainly confined to cities and garrison towns. So before he came to throne, the control of the sultans were mainly till the cities and the village areas. Yes or no? Not the village areas, that is the places where the soldiers or the armies lived at that time. So he started expanding his control over the places near to the cities. The places which are located nearby cities that were known as garrison towns. So he started controlling over the areas around the garrison towns. That means garrison town means the area where the king lived, and the areas near the garrison town means the village areas also he started controlling over them. Okay, he cleared forest areas lying between Ganga Yamuna river and gave land to peasants for cultivation. He also built many new towns and forts for his soldiers. Thus he managed to extend his control over more territories. Okay, so Balban's idea of kingship, how he became the king, what was his rule at that time. So what he did, he was very dominating king. Okay, he, as you know, that he started beating the people living in that were serving during that period. Then he also bid the 40 chalisas, a group of 40 people, chalisas. He also bid them to control power over them. So he kept a stern and grave face at all times. He did not even allow courtiers to smile in his presence. So what he did, he dominated these people very cruelly. So he told them not even to smile during his presence. So he was very much dominating at the time. All this you will learn by reading this paragraph. Okay. All nobles and visitors had to prostrate before the Sultan and kiss his feet. This kind of things were given to them during his rule. So he died in 1287 AD. After his death, the slave dynasty swiftly declined, paving the way for Khalji dynasty. So here with his death, the slave dynasty was ended. So administration under the Mamluk Sultans. Mamluk means, what is the meaning of Mamluk? Ruler. The meaning of Mamluk is slave, yes or no? The meaning of Mamluk is slave sultans. So how was the administration? As I told you, administration means a group of people governing or ruling the country. Means a group of people who were under power. Yes or no? They are ruling the whole country. So how was the administration of the Mamluk sultans? The early sultan preferred to govern their kingdoms with the help of slaves rather than nobles or samantas. Samantas were the armies, yes or no? So the administration was like that they don't rely over the armies. Okay, instead of that, they rely over the slaves who were loyal to them. So as like Iltutmish made a group of 40 people, because those 40 people were very loyal to them. But he don't believe in the samantas. He believed in his slaves who were very noble to them. They felt as the slaves were dependent on Sultan, they could be trusted completely. Therefore, the sultans, especially Iltutmish, appointed slaves brought by them for military service to govern and administrate their vast kingdoms. These slaves were called bandagans. Okay, those slaves who were who worked under the ruler were known as bandagans. Okay, the special slaves who worked directly under the ruler was known as bandagans. The bandagans were trained to hold important posts in the administration. The slaves were loyal to their masters but not to their heirs and families. Heirs means the people who come after the ruler. Means suppose I am trying to rule the country, after one who will rule the country after the another one's death. Here I shall show you. Right. Suppose here is the king. Okay. So some people are there not to become king. They were proceeding towards becoming the king after his death. So these people are known as heirs. Okay, heirs and families. As a result, every time a new ruler came to power, there were a lot of conflict between nobles who were loyal to the old king and those who were loyal to the new sultan. The Mamluk sultans also gave pieces of land called iktas. Yes, the Mamluk sultans, the slave sultans, gave land to the officials. Officials means to bandagans. The Mamluk sultans gave land to bandagans. So from that land, in that land were known as muktits. Okay, that land were known as iktats. Okay, and the official who stay on that areas were known as muktis. So The land given by Mamluk sultans to Bandagans was known as Iktats. The land was known as Iktats. And the officials who stayed on that area and looked after that land were known as Muktits. They usually controlled group of soldiers who helped them conduct military raids and maintain law and order in the Iktats. The Muktits took the revenue collected in the Iktats thus as their salary. They also used a part of revenue to pay their troops. The Muktits were constantly shifted and held Iktats for short period of time. This ensured they remained under the control of sultans. As the sultans consolidated their control over hinterlands, they forced Samantas to accept their authority. They even allowed their subordinates to levy taxes on the people. So, understand this paragraph by reading. This is very easy. So, in our next video, we shall learn about Khalji dynasty. So, Khalji dynasty started from Jalaluddin Khalji. Okay. So, this is enough for today. I shall explain this Khalji dynasty in our next video, that is video number 4.